So I heard recently a recommendation that if you wanted to get a website built, that you should go to elance.com, and that's a place where you can go and say, okay, I need this, and people will bid on how much it will cost them to do that thing for you. And so I just wanted to give you some advice about that if that is something that you plan to do. So here's the thing. If you go to Elance, make sure that you're going to compare apples to apples and not apples to oranges. Now, the reason why I say that is because when you tell somebody on Elance, okay, I need the following thing. I need a website made. What they're going to do is they're going to give you a price for just making a website. If you don't specify anything else, then they're obviously not going to include those things. And just so you know, you can probably get, a pretty decent recommendation of like $99 or, maybe $200. I mean, realistically, you should pay between $200 and $300 for a website design. But you got to ask some other questions. For example, does it include hosting? So after you have your site made, what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to host it? Now, some people who make websites also do their own hosting. Not everybody does. Some people just focus specifically on making sites and they don't really care about the other part. Now, just so you know, I actually provide hosting, and I design websites free. So if you want to host a website, you want to have a site designed, those things are included in just one price, and that's for the price of hosting. The cost of the design is free, and you don't pay anything up front, and it's to your liking. So once you like the site, once you say that it's really great, then you can pay for the hosting, which includes other things. Now, that's the other part that you want to think about with the Elance. Does it include the other things? Does it include hosting? Does it include, for example, plugins? And backing up a step, if they're going to design a site for you, is it going to be in HTML or is it going to be WordPress? Now, there's a number of differences between the two. One is with HTML, main advantage is that it will load faster, but that's about the end of it. If you wanted to make any changes to your HTML site after it's been created, you got to go back to this person and pay them probably to make changes to it, unless they include those changes as part of the package. And then you want to ask them, okay, is it going to be for 6 months or a year that you will make changes for me? How many changes can I make? How many hours of service can I include in this? And the other thing is that you could have this be a WordPress site instead of an HTML site. If you had an HTML site and you wanted to make changes, you'd have to get software like Dreamweaver, which costs money. And Dreamweaver is not that easy to use, to be honest. But if you wanted to use WordPress, WordPress is the #1 website platform in the world. 1 out of every website is on WordPress, which is fantastic. There are tons and tons of training videos out there for free, and tons of articles and tips and things that are developed specifically for WordPress. There are lots of ways that you can connect different things like mailing lists to WordPress. WordPress is just the best thing out there, really. That's the long and short of it. If you think Web 2.0, you're thinking WordPress. HTML sites are, like first generation internet. So you want to be able to blog. That's WordPress. Regular HTML site? No. Okay, so what about things that you can add on to your site? So you've got the site designed. What if you want to add a contact form? What if you want to add spam protection for comments for posts on your site? What if you want to add a backup program so that you can daily back up your individual site? There are tons and tons. Matter of fact, there are over 10,000 different free plugins available for WordPress, designed for WordPress to provide a number of different functions: SEO, Google Analytics, all these different things. So does this website that you're having made include those capabilities? If not, you got to pay for those things separately, and that can be crazy expensive. So if you got a WordPress site, it's going to include the ability to add a lot of these things in for free. What about the design? Is that something that this person is going to design from scratch? Well, chances are they're going to take a WordPress template and they're going to change it so that it's to your satisfaction, which is what I do. But the important thing is that you're going to probably be paying for this template. They may include the cost of the template. I don't know, but you're going to have to ask them. So again, apples to apples, or not apples to oranges. Does this $99 that they're charging to develop a website include the theme? Ask them. So once you've got the theme, and by the way, you only have to spend like about $19 for a theme. Getting a good theme is really not that expensive. So there's a number of things to keep in mind about that. And as far as where you're going to host your site goes, really matters too. So for example, if this person told you, well, it doesn't include hosting, you're going to have to pay for that separately. Guess how much that's going to run you? Well, probably about $99, to be honest. You can get really cheap hosting through Bluehost or other places, and it'll be about $75 a year if you can find the coupon for it. If you can't find the coupon for it, it'll run you about $100. Well, obviously, you could pay more. I have used a number of different hosting companies over the years, including some of the biggest ones, and you may have heard some of them like DreamHost and Media Temple, Site5, WP Engine. There are a number of different hosts that are out there. I happen to recommend Liquid Web, which will run you about $30 a month, just so that you know. It's not cheap, but the service that you get makes all the difference in the world. Once everything is up and running, everybody's happy. But as soon as there's a problem, well, how are you going to get that fixed? And that's the other thing that you should ask about this $99 site. Are they going to fix something if it breaks? What if there's an error message? What if you get the white screen of death where you load up your site and the site hasn't crashed? It's just you got a white page. And it's like, what the heck? There's no error messages. That's something that if you look it up on the internet, it's a real thing. And how do they fix that? How do you fix it? It's your site. How do you fix it? You try to contact this person through Elance. Maybe you can't even reach them anymore. What are you going to do? Who are you going to call? So, these questions are really important to ask your Elancer on what is the cost of getting this thing fixed. What if it's WordPress? It's going to be updated on a regular basis. That means that the plugins are going to be updated on a regular basis to conform to the new updates to WordPress itself. There can be plugin conflicts. There can be a lot of different things that can happen. Who's going to fix that? So these are things to keep in mind. In addition, what you want to do is think about training. So for example, if you have this person make a site for you for $99, does it include training? With all of my customers, I do a one-on-one training session just like this, except for it's live and interactive, and I'm actually showing them how to use WordPress. It's like an hour-long training just on how to use WordPress, and I also include another training session for free on how to do your own SEO. SEO is short for search engine optimization. In other words, the things that you can do on your site to help it rank higher on Google, which is extremely important. So you want to know how to do your own SEO instead of paying somebody else to do it. So that's a very important skill. And is that something that this person is going to teach you? Are they going to be the ones that are going to be doing your SEO for you as part of this fee or not? And they may say, oh yeah, well, it's all automatic. Well, doing your own SEO is going to be far superior than any sort of automated plugin or any sort of automated system for getting your site ranked higher for each page and each keyword that you want to have ranked. What about migration? Let's say that you are currently got a blog running on Blogger and you want to migrate that over into your new WordPress site. Well, here's the thing. Go to WP Engine and they will host your WordPress blog for you, and you ask them, hey, look, I've got this blog, can you migrate it over for me? They're going to refer you to another company that will say that they charge $500 to migrate sites from one place to another. Well, Unfortunately, unless you know how to do it yourself, and there are instructions for doing that sort of thing, you may have to pay somebody to do the migration. I include migration for all of my customers. As a matter of fact, I include all the plugins, and I include all the training, and I include all the themes, and I include everything. Everything is just one price. So if you take a look at this whole thing, and by the way, I do this site design for free in case I didn't mention that to you. I will design the site, and if you say you love it, then we can talk about hosting. Hosting for 6 months is just $249 for everything. All included, one price. You need help at any time, I'm available via Facebook. You can talk to my regular customers about how quick and responsive I am to helping people. I will help you do things. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I will just do things for you. If you say, oh, I need this done, I can't figure it out, I'll just go and do it for you. If you're with anybody else, chances are they're going to say, oh yeah, well, here's the instructions on how to do it. Good luck. And they won't do it for you. What I will do is, if you need me to do it, I will do it. And if you want to learn how to do it on your own, I will also send you information on how to do it on your own. But if you get stuck, I'll take care of it for you. So that's, I consider that to be service, and that's something I provide to all my customers. Now let's add this all up. If you're going to Elance to save some money, and they say, okay, $99 is what it costs to build a site for you. Okay, does it include hosting? In other words, does it include like $75 worth of hosting with Bluehost or not? Or does it include hosting at a better place than Bluehost? Does it include any premium theme licenses? In other words, do you have to pay separate for your license for the theme that they're creating for you? What about the plugins? I recommend a certain set of plugins that adds up to about $100 or more, depending. So, are you going to have to pay separate for that, or is it going to be included in the price that you're paying on Elance? What about backups? What about migrations? What about training? What about any of those repairs or updates or error messages that need to be fixed? Based on what I can tell, and I think this is going to be pretty obvious, if you were to go to immediately below this video, you're going to see a link to go to a page that I have on my site. I have a list of all these things, and if you add it up, it's more than a few $100s. A $99 Elance site is going to cost you overall a few $100s. With me, it's $249, and that's all inclusive. Anything that you need is all taken care of. So you've got your choice there. Either go with Elance, somebody who you haven't met, somebody that you don't have a personal referral from, or chances are, if you're watching this video, somebody referred you to me and they can vouch for me. They can vouch for the service that I provide. So I think that the choice is pretty clear. If you're going to Elance to save money, you're not saving money, in fact. And if you go to Elance because you want to find a professional, well, chances are you don't have a personal referral to that person, but you do have the person that sent you this video as a referral for me. So I think it's a pretty slam dunk kind of thing. I'm very happy to work with you. If you go to this page that's down below in the links in the comments below this video, you can go there and fill out the contact form or use the vCita plugin. That's a plugin, and it's actually free. It doesn't cost you anything. There is a paid version for it, by the way. I'll tell you everything that you need to know whenever it comes to WordPress hosting, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, and I will be happy to set up a site for you completely to your satisfaction so that you say that you love it. Once you say that you love it, then we can set up your hosting. Thanks a bunch for watching this video, and let me know if you need anything.